Heyo, my Planet Coaster friends, Johnny5 Live here, and welcome back to another episode of Coaster Spotlight. We got a fun little bundle for you guys here today. We're going to be checking out 3 roller coasters, kicking things off with Nova, created by Starport55, a Diamond patron. Want to thank you so much for your support, and yes, this is a Patreon featured video. All 3 of the creators are part of the Patreon program. Thank you guys so much for your support, and everybody else in the Patreon program. If you guys want to support the show, you like the content here, check the links down in the description below. I greatly appreciate it, and you will get spotlight priority like in today's video. So Starport55 says, "Heyo Channel 5, welcome to Nova, a new and exciting method to travel across the universe. I wanted a smooth and realistic coaster with custom supports as well, and included a neon strip running through the coaster's spine. That is a trigger sequence. You can see the sequence outside the border of the park. A huge thank you to my friends in the Planko community who helped motivate me and support me while I was building this, and the TMTK creators who have made incredible items for the community to use. Thank you all so much for checking out Nova, and have a great flight." All right, this has a really intricate queue, so why don't we jump right on into it and see what it's all about. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Here we are at Nova the coaster. This is looking sensational. We have a really intricate queue from the looks of things. Took a quick sneak peek while I was doing the B-roll for you guys here today. So let's take a look at this queue. What do we have here? Nova. Wow, that's looking crazy. Definitely looking like a Starport55 creation here today. Like the glass window looking out at the coaster from the queue. That is a really nice touch. Starport is kind of known for doing all these neon things and light shows. There's a look at the coaster as it rips on by. Up the helix there. Amazing. All right, let's keep going. Visit 7 Monolith Village. I'm assuming, from the looks of things, this is all part of a theme park or something. Because what we have here is just one coaster, but all these advertisements for a place. A place that does not exist in this current rendition of the park. Oh, look at that. Coaster going through the station. Really great stuff. Okay, here we are at the coaster station. Here's a look at all the ride stats if you want to see them. 1,200 meters in length. And we're going to just get right on it. Up we go. Enjoy the ride, ladies and gentlemen. I did download the custom media. Where is it? There it is. Off we go. Wow, freaking we. I tried doing a cinematic view. I had to cut it I'm going to cut it from the video. It just, too many collisions, too many weird things going on with the background, and I just couldn't get a good camera angle. But that is quite all right. One perspective for this coaster here today should be enough. We have 2 other coasters to check out. But what a phenomenal creation from Starport yet again. Let's take a look at it in a bit of a time lapse here. You can see all the trigger sequence running down the spine of the coaster. You can't really quite appreciate it as much from the viewpoint of the coaster, which is why I was hoping to get a really cool cinematic shot of it all so we could see those neon lights changing while we're going around in cinematic view. That would have been pretty cool. But nonetheless, there's a look at it there. Starport's always elevating his ability to do triggered events, sequences, and you can see that here in today's coaster from Starport 55, as well as a really cool coaster design, layout, and fun queue going into this neon abyss. Really cool design here. What did you guys think? Throw your comments down below for Starport 55, and let's go check out the next creation of the day. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the next coaster of the day. It is a gigantic Rubik's Cube. And the coaster goes on inside. This one was sent in by Rhys, and they say it's the Rubix Coaster. We're going to throw this into test mode, and I'm going to see what they have to say here. They say here, this is my first ever blueprint coaster that I have uploaded and made in a very short amount of time because I was bored. But yeah, this coaster is fun. That fit into a Rubik's Cube. I hope you like it, and sorry if it's not super smooth at some points. This is mostly a compact coaster. Don't forget to sink hide me into the ground. Enjoy. Okay, here we go. Ah! Ay, caramba! Okay, let's talk about it. I definitely could use some more smoothing. Not bad for a first-time creation. Your smooth tool is going to be your best friend. And even if you're bored, you can easily just grab little segments of the track, and you can smooth out some of those little areas there. And it shouldn't take you that long to get that going nice and smooth. So something to work on for next time. But I do have a newfound love and appreciation for the Rubik's Cube. That's why I wanted to throw this one in here today. I actually recently picked up 2 Rubik's Cubes off Amazon. I don't know, I went down a YouTube rabbit hole and got fascinated by speed solvers. I haven't been able to solve it very quickly. It still takes me about a minute to solve the Rubik's Cube, but you know, did a little bit of research on different methods of solving the Rubik's Cube, and I highly recommend it. If you got 20 bucks to, you know, go order a really cool magnetic Rubik's Cube off of Amazon, I highly recommend doing that and watching some videos on how to solve the Rubik's Cube. And it's a lot of fun. I'm actually quite surprised. I've never actually solved a Rubik's Cube in my life up until just recently. Yeah, it is a fascinating little puzzle, so I really enjoy that. Crazy coaster here from Rhys. There you guys go. Let's go check out the last coaster of the day. And here we are at the last coaster of the day. This is the Wild Xplorer sent in by Shane Turner. And the first, I think I want to say the first coaster I've ever seen from Shane Turner. He's a bit of a newer builder in terms of rank, and he's been just trying to get better at the game. So we're going to try to provide a little bit of feedback. We're going to check out the coaster and then talk about the aesthetics and the track and how Shane can improve for next time. Okay, let's talk about it. Definitely going to go a little easy on Shane. He's not too familiar with making these coasters and still trying to improve on his build style. I do notice you really like this modern build style. We've seen this from your go-karts and all your other creations. You've really taken a liking to this style, and you're getting better and better at it each time. The buildings have more details on them, a little bit more depth. You're using multiple stacks, more undulation, trying to make interesting bits here, getting away from what we've seen in the past of very boxy builds. Slanted rooftops here, pieces going in and out. So definitely trying to push away from the boxiness. As I say that, there's this one giant box here, so still trying to refine that a little bit more, but this is better. It's a box on top of a box with a little bit of depth to it, you know, and it's got some doodads and props and things scattered about. Now let's talk about the actual blueprint itself, Shane. When you're making one of these coasters, it's a very large blueprint footprint, and if you guys are wondering what all these arrows are, this is actually the setup for the queue and the exit. Now, I don't think it needs to be this long. If you're gonna do as if taking inspiration from what we saw in the first coaster of the episode, and that's kind of why I put this in here to contrast, so everyone, all the newer builders, can get a look at what some of the advanced people are doing, like Starport. When you do a long queue walk like this, you need to have a little bit more interesting things to look at, and it would be good if we had that wild mouse going up and above us, back and forth. Now, traditionally, wild mouses tend to do that. They do a little bit of a drop, and then they come back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then they drop down again, go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and they work their way down. So how can you use that queue to your advantage? Well, first of all, I would have cut this in half, had that queue going underneath all of this, right? And now that the queue is going underneath all of this, you're utilizing all this space down here, and we're walking around, we're checking things out, and that coaster is going back and forth above us, making that queue walk a little bit more interesting, and we could definitely cut that queue walk in half, so we could reduce all of that by quite a large portion. Now, with the size of this blueprint, what you have going on here, like I said, you need to have that wild mouse going back and forth a little bit more. It's going down too rapidly. We got a big drop, spin around, and a massive drop, and this thing is hauling ass, and it's spinning around. It's gonna whip your head off. It's not gonna be a fun experience, and that is why they gradually go down little bit by little bit, easing you into those spins rather than drastically spinning you around. Definitely one thing to look at when you're designing a coaster, in particular a spinning coaster or a wild mouse. Take a look at what real life coasters are. Watch some YouTube POVs of other coasters, wild mouses in real life, and try to replicate that track. I can see here there's a big focus on that scenery, and then you decide, how do I make this coaster go up onto the buildings and around the buildings and back into the buildings. And Reshade's doing something crazy, so I'm just gonna turn it off. Yeah, and try to weave your environment around your coaster rather than your coaster around your environment, and try to shrink that footprint down just a little bit. So try to bring all of those elements together. How does your queue integrate with your ride? How does your ride integrate with your environment? And how do we get that into a sizable footprint where it's not taking up half of our park? Because the amount of track here does not warrant the size of the blueprint, right? When I see a blueprint this big, we're looking at someone like Zayfor, for example. He could take this much space and make a 1,400 meter track, if not a 2,000 or 3,000 meter track. And we only have 500 meters here. So really try to compact that a little bit. As I said, if you go traditional with what we see in real life wild mouses, we could get this to half the size and then build up all of our buildings around that. And I think you have something really cool. So there's a little bit of advice there for Shane Turner. I know he's always looking to improve, so I wanted to provide the most feedback possible. Really good effort here, Shane Turner. Love this, the fact that to see you still building, still making an effort, and taking a stab at a coaster today rather than a go-kart. So there you guys have it. 3 creations from our patrons. Want to give an extended shout out to all the people in the Patreon program. Thank you guys for supporting the show, and for the viewers, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you guys. And with that said, I hope you all have a fantastic day, and we'll see you in the next episode of Coaster Spotlight. Bye now.